Hi guys, so we've just finished up the inspection. This is Keith and Don, our inspectors. Keith is going to give you kind of a brief synopsis of the inspection and hit the highlights. His report, however, and he's going to mention this in a minute, his report will be out early tomorrow morning, my time. And what we want to do is you look it over, I'll look it over, and then we get on the email or on the phone and figure out what we're going to do. So I'm going to let Keith go. Keith's a great guy. He was a Marine. That's the only thing wrong with him.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll just kind of go through the photos. We're kind of going to go backwards just because it's easier that way. Last thing we did was crawl space. We do have a little bit of plumbing supply lines that some of the insulation is damaged. I would rewrap those.
And Keith is looking at these pictures to jog his memory. They will all be in the report.
Right. We did have a couple of the heat ducts where the straps are loose, so some of the heat ducts are sagging a little bit. We did get good heat through all the registers. The furnace, however, it doesn't look like it's been serviced recently. Ideally, you want someone to come out about once a year just to do maintenance on those. We did have, there was one electrical wire in the crawl space. I would support it a little bit better. It's kind of sagging, so I would secure it up to the framing. Let's see, a little bit of scattered wood debris in the crawl. Ideally, if it's rakeable, you want to try and get it out of there. It's just for wood destroying insects. So it's kind of scattered. Just when they built the house, they left some of the scraps underneath there. Foundation wall looked great. No cracks. Good vapor barrier. You're fully insulated. All the framing looked good. Attic. All the framing looks good. It's insulated to the standard when it was built, so you do have over 12 inches. If you wanted to, you could upgrade, add a little bit more if you want to be closer to today's standard.
Which is probably another 6 inches or so.
Another 6 inches. There was a little bit of minor staining on the sheeting. It looks like they've replaced the bathroom vents. It's possible those had come loose at some point, which can cause that staining. You really can't tell what the staining is without testing for it, though. It could be mildew, could be mold, could be bird dander. You just don't know.
But it's not wet or anything.
It's not wet. We didn't see any sign of leaks.
Okay.
The roof itself overall looks really good. Normal aging. I'd say moderate moss though. So
okay.
You do want to get that moss cleaned off. Also the gutters are pretty full of debris. Just as a maintenance item, you want to get that cleaned out. This is a minor thing. We did have a couple of our heat registers. They're not really fitting into the duct very well, so if you walk by and kick them, they're going to slide across the floor on you. That was a kitchen and the family room.
And those are the drop-in grates that,
right.
that where the heat comes up out of the floor. They don't fit snugly in the hole.
Right. Fireplace functions properly. There is a little minor white hazing to the glass. That's pretty common. Just on occasion you want to get maintenance done on that. They'll pull that glass out and clean the interior of it. Living room. The window in the living room does bind and rub a little bit. I would recommend adjusting it, or Phil was saying that if you use wax, that can actually help that slide a lot better. Interior flooring. Overall, the flooring's in pretty good shape. Some of the wood flooring, there are some dents, dings, a little bit of wear to that. And then the tile flooring in the living room, we do have some grout failure, so we're going to recommend that someone come out and redo the grout. Let's see, that was master bath. Master bath, the right-hand sink, the stopper is not wanting to function properly. The left side sink drains a little bit slowly. So there's probably some hair clogged in that. Rear right bedroom, the closet doors were missing floor guides. It's more important when they're small children. That's going to help make sure they don't pinch their fingers in those swinging doors. Rear right bedroom, it looks like the heat duct is disconnected at the floor, so I would have someone secure that and then you put your register back on it. There'll be a photo in the report for you in the morning.
Hit muscle failure here, Keith.
Sorry. Second floor hall bath, there's a little bit of hidden moisture detected around the toilet. Usually that's an indication that the wax ring is starting to fail, so I would have someone pull that toilet, put a new wax ring on it. There's no damage to the floor yet, but it's good to catch that early.
Yeah.
Tub shower surround, second floor hall bath, a little bit of caulk failure on the upper section around. I would seal that. We have both of our CO detectors. Electrical looked great, other than the one wire in the crawl space.
And was that a low voltage or a high voltage
It's
wire?
just typical Romex.
Romex, okay.
Yeah. Water heater installation looked fine. I believe it was a 40-gallon tank. 40-gallon tank. It is original, so you're right at 12 years old on that.
And those things, some of them last for 30 years, some of them last for 10.
Right.
So one thing to keep in mind, the warranty I put on the house, the most common use for that is water heater replacement.
Exterior, a little minor caulk failure, which is a typical maintenance item. As a homeowner, you just have to keep up with it, along with the paint. Some minor paint deterioration. Exterior rear faucet, the backflow device, we're basically leaking there when it's in use. When it's off, it's not leaking. A little bit of vegetation contact. Ideally, you want to keep that trimmed about 10 to 12 inches away from your siding. It just traps moisture up against the side of the house. I'm sorry, Phil, I can see you shaking.
I'm not shaking.
Rear glass slider, it does look like on one of those doors we have a failed sill. There's a little bit of fogging in between the panes. Let's see, a little bit of decayed fascia on the right-hand side. There'll be a photo of that. A little decayed trim on the front. That's on the front patio, and then right by the living room window.
And that, I took that in one of my videos a minute ago, yeah.
It looks like that is about it. So pretty clean inspection. Some minor settlement cracks of the walkway on the right-hand side. Rear patio, the concrete pavers, right on the edge, those have settled a little bit. It'd be a matter of pulling them back up, resetting them. And it looks like that was it. Like Phil said, I'll have the report to you first thing in the morning by 9. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Phil definitely knows our number. Anyway, thanks. It was a great house. It was a lot of fun to inspect it.
Thanks, Keith.